welcome to the latest episode of the Pop Culture Roundtable podcast. I'm your host, Liam. As always, I'm joined by Timon.
Hello.
And Geraldo.
I hate you every episode. What's up, people? It's Ja.
Ja.
Yes.
Okay,
sir.
I'll remember that.
I doubt it.
It's been a few weeks. We've been busy. We've been doing shit. So, fellas, let's recap. What have you guys been watching, reading, playing? What have you been into?
I guess I can go first.
I want you to go first. Don't go first.
Okay, I guess Ja will go first.
Okay, I guess I can go first. Let's see. I've mostly been reading stuff these past few days. The first thing that pops into mind is I've been reading this new comic called The Nuclear Family. It's actually pretty fire. I literally forgot who wrote it, but
I remember I saw you get. I know it's Aftershock, the publisher. I have not read anything published by Aftershock, but I've seen a lot of stuff about them. Like they're building that because they're still a new company.
yeah.
Because like I never really heard of them, but
Is it the same company that made BioShock?
that's a video game, BioShock. So no, I don't think so.
Disney makes comics and
I'd have to
movies
fact check
and
that.
everything.
Everything.
So it's been fact checked. It's the same company that made BioShock.
That's not. Please don't take that as that's not fact checked.
That is not
yes, it
canon.
is.
I just wanted to say that I think that's
Our
cool that it's Aftershock.
reputation is like hinging on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But it's actually pretty cool. Like I like the art style. It's kind of you use this word, but I forget. It's kind of like painting. It looks like more like hand painted. If that makes any sense, like an actual painting.
Oh, cool.
And it looks
so more like realistic.
Yeah,
Less cartoony.
And the premise is really nice. And obviously, it's post-apocalyptic.
Give us a quick premise.
Okay. This all happens in like the first issue. So I guess not really like the biggest spoiler, but like there's this family essentially, and this family is like your typical '60s era American family: dad, mom, daughter, brother, younger brother, and then like a dog or some shit. Like the most classic
kind of
image
dog?
of that. Let's say a beagle for sake of Liam's happiness.
Well, I mean this is actually really important to the story. I need to know what kind of dog it is. I'm very heavily invested on this dog character. It sounds the most interesting based on your premise so far.
I got you. It's a beagle. His name's Larry. There you
Larry.
go. I just made
that
that
dog name.
I just made the last part up. Anyway, so this family gets caught in a nuclear attack. There's shit blowing up.
As one does. I hate when that happens.
As one does in the 60s. It's a whole like Red Scare era-esque type thing. Anyway, so they see a nuclear explosion next to their house. They go in their basement, and right at like the second they close the door, a nuclear bomb hits their house. This happens literally within like the first few pages of the first issue. And then like you see like a little bit of blankness, and then you find out that essentially what happened is they are transported to, well, honestly, no one really knows what happens. They've essentially moved forward in time. They're in like, the book starts off, or the comic starts off in 1960 something, and they end up in like 1980 something after that nuclear bomb goes off.
Hey, Reagan baby.
Exactly. And they're just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And I read the first 3 issues this past week, and it's been going pretty good so far. I was really kind of confused to where they can go with giving us so much information in the first issue, but it's been good so far, so...
That's cool. How many issues are out so far?
I have no fucking clue. I know.
How many do you have?
I have the first 6.
Okay, so somewhere in that range.
Yes, essentially. And that's honestly, I mean, that and Saga, but I have not, put too much.
Saga's the greatest comic ever made. You should read Saga if you haven't read Saga. I'll just end it at that.
I want to finish Saga. I'm in the 3rd book or whatever they're called.
Volume.
Yeah, at this point. I'm probably going to keep reading The Nuclear Family and Berserk, and then whenever I have time to put in a Saga, I'll put that in a Saga. So, yeah, that's what I've been reading, essentially.
Saga's the greatest thing ever written.
Saga is the greatest thing ever written alongside...
Yeah, you can't say that. Don't say that.
Alongside Why the Last Man. Read that. It's so fire. Oh, my God.
Alongside the Communist Manifesto.
Don't forget Mein Kampf.
Yes. And
Das Kapital, a little less anti-Semitic.
Yep.
I'm with you, Jews. Don't worry.
Don't forget the Bible. Greatest
we
piece.
can forget the Bible.
Greatest piece of literature ever. Yep. Shout out Jesus. He that homie.
So Timon, what have you been reading?
Reading.
Or watching. I just we were only talking about books, but reading, watching, playing.
I guess I've been reading Watchmen, but like I'm not gonna get into that because like it's a very specific story and it's kind of hard to explain what's happening in it and like what's going on. But I have like 100 pages left, a couple more issues in the big volume. It's really good so far. I recommend reading it. I'm not even done with it, but everyone says the ending is like the best part, and I'm just getting to the ending. So I would 100% suggest reading it from what I've seen so far. But I've been reading Watchmen. I started watching, I know this isn't necessarily nerdy, but I started watching Dave with my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend now. Ha 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 ha. I just had to say that so everyone knows. Let me think. What else? I've been watching Rick and Morty week to week with Liam and Ja. Whenever Ja can, get himself away from his obligations.
Obligations in quotation marks.
He's a very busy man.
Yes,
but
busy in quotation marks.
I live in the office at this point, honestly.
Yeah, he's always working.
In quotation marks.
Yeah. But watch Rick and Morty. That's been pretty like up and down. Like I've liked the season so far. I think it's pretty good. It's like classic Rick and Morty, pretty funny. But at times I'm kind of just like I feel like the show. I know it has a lot of seasons left because it's just been picked up for so long. And I feel like maybe this show should end in like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And like I'm not sure if it's gonna like jump the shark, but I feel like it's getting close to like jump the shark material. But like it's Dan Harmon, and like the way Dan Harmon's story structure is, like there's always a way to just like find a good story as long as you have like strong character and character relationships, and I think the show still has that. So I'm really enjoying the season, even its like lowest moments like are still like fun to watch. And then I've been watching that show. That show, as if everyone knows, I've been watching this show Peep Show. It's this British comedy from like the early 2000s to mid 2000s. It's about these 2 roommates, Mark and Jez, and they they just absolutely suck. And like one of them's a failed musician who's unemployed, and like I can relate to that, being a failure. And he's just like
being unemployed.
Yeah, we didn't have to tell them that one. And he's just like hilarious. And then Mark is like the typical like I'm gonna work my way up through the company like business guy who like also just like is like kind of like a cuckold in like every like sense of the word.
So Ja.
And I mean I wouldn't go there, but
No.
Hey, you guys can like fight that one out later. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's typical British humor where it's super mundane and they're just like very like ordinary circumstances, but it's like hilarious. And like if you've seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think this show inspired on Always Sunny in Philadelphia because I think it came out before. So like it's totally hilarious. It's all like it's just crazy. I can't even explain it. I definitely watch it. It's on Hulu. 9 seasons. 6 episodes a season, so it's a short watch, but really fucking good. That's been What's Up With Me. What's up with you?
Peep Show is great.
We've been watching it together.
I've also been watching Peep Show, which is absolutely I can't say enough about that show. It's so fucking funny. It's absolutely hilarious. But other than that, I have been reading. I just finished recently The Rising Storm, the latest Star Wars High Republic book.
How's that?
It was fucking amazing. It was so good. I genuinely cannot recommend these books enough. Even if you're like anybody who's a Star Wars fan, it's like you got to read these. Like they're just so. It's genuinely some of my favorite Star Wars stories. Like I get it. I get if you're not into books. Like I'm not into books and reading like that much either. But like the premise is it takes place 200 years before the Phantom Menace, and it's the Jedi at the height of their power before the collapse that you see in the movies. And it is so fucking cool. Like it like the first book is insane, and I thought that like you couldn't get better than that. But like honestly, the more I've sat with it, I think I like the second book even more than the first book, because it just like it's people are comparing it to Empire Strikes Back, of course, because like everybody says it's like the best sequel ever, and like it's also in Star Wars, and it's like they somehow laid a perfect foundation in Light of the Jedi of the first book, and then made it even better in the second book. It's insane. And they do similar things to Empire, the way they just like up the stakes and up the darkness and everything, and flesh out the villains and more stuff like that. But yeah, I really can't recommend that enough. If you're even if you're just like somewhat of a casual Star Wars fan who's just like looking for like a book to read, at least give it a try, because like everybody loves it, and it's super fast paced. Like it, especially the first book, like within the first like 3 chapters, you'll just get like sucked in.
What if you can't read?
They have audio. They have like audiobooks for it. Actually, deadass. Yeah.
Oh, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
I actually tried out the audiobook for the Rising Storm, the new one, and it's really good. The guy, it's one voice actor who does like all the characters, and he's actually really good. Like you can barely tell with some characters, but the thing is, he reads it like too slow, and I like my brain like I can't focus on it. Like it's like hard to, like I was trying to read the book while listening to the audiobook at the same time. And he reads it slower because he like puts on voices and stuff like that, and they put sound effects in, so it's just slower paced. And like my brain could not like handle it because like I was reading the page faster than like he was delivering it, and my brain couldn't keep up. And I was like, I just want to. And the book was so good that I was like, fuck it, I need to just finish this as soon as possible. So I just stopped listening to the audiobook and just read it on my own. But yeah, the audiobook is also really good.
Okay, so Floyd Mayweather, if you're listening, you can also enjoy this. That's fun.
My name is my name is...
He's richer than most of us will be ever in life.
But yeah, that's what we've been up to. So for the rest of today's episode, we are going to get into breakdowns of... we're going to start with The Green Knight, the new A24 movie starring Dev Patel, that we all just watched. We went and saw it in the theaters yesterday, as of the day that we're recording this. And then we're going to get into Black Widow, which we all saw, and the finale of Loki from a few weeks ago. And spoilers for all 3 of those going ahead. We'll give you warnings beforehand before we like switch topics into them, but just like a general caution for all of them. But yeah, so let's get into The Green Knight. Just to start off, I was someone who was super excited about this, and I know you guys were also pretty excited about it, at least like from the trailer and stuff. So I'm gonna start with let's start with Ja, because I actually haven't heard. I already talked to Timon about this a lot, so I know a lot of what your feelings are, but I haven't heard a lot of your feelings.
Yeah.
So spoilers for The Green Knight.
Yeah. So, literally jumping right into it, I was obviously fucking confused.
yeah. It's a
Both during
it's a confusing movie
and after the movie. I honestly, and it's kind of crazy. I genuinely, I was, in 2020 focused during the entirety of it. I feel like I understand a good amount of what went down. I'm just still stuck in like a general state of confusion just because like so much happened all at once. It was kind of hard to follow at certain points. But I don't know, if I had to come down and rate it, I'd say I personally enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. Just because like the visual effects were amazing, genuinely. Like some of the scenes of
everything
that movie.
Visually was so
yes, bro. I can literally like recall like specific frames where I was like, wow, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like I remember the scene where they were walking into like the throne room and it started like inverted and it like panned down and you can see people walking in. That was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And the giant scene was also really cool too.
Yeah,
that was really cool. So like things like that, like I just have never seen like on a screen before, or at least that good. So like,
I mean, you've watched Attack on Titan, right?
no, you're right. But no, that shit smacked, man. That coupled with the fact that like the plot was kind of twisty turny and difficult to wrap my mind around, I'd say one light to hard 7. No, I'm joking. I actually really enjoyed it. I'd say like it gets a jaw pass.
Okay.
Like a jaw stamp of approval.
A jaw stamp of approval.
Yes.
Warning to people in the audience: Ja enjoys both Suicide Squad and Avatar, so a jaw stamp of approval is about equivalent to like 1 Dogecoin in like currency.
I will let the audience do with that information as they may. But I do want to say for the audience purposes that when he said Avatar, I meant the James Cameron Avatar.
Yes, the one,
not
the
not
Avatar
that
that's
Shyamalan.
bad. Yeah.
Hey, no. Well, hey, okay. We'll let the audience decide that one, Chief.
So Timon.
Yeah, so I like wasn't super excited to see The Green Knight at first, and then you were super excited, Liam, and you were like, yo, it's supposed to be really sick, and it's based on this like old-timey tale. And then we watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, that's cool that they have like Dev Patel, a person of color, in this role. So I was like, okay, well, it's A24. I guess this feels progressive. I'm on board, and like it looked cool enough. The premise was super sick, so I was like, okay, there's no way A24 flubs this one. And then I went into it, and like during the movie, like as everything was going, like Josh said, everything was great as far as visuals. The sound design was really good. A lot of the acting was pretty on point. You know, like I think most like aspects of it all around were pretty good. I was even on board with it for most of it. Like I was enjoying the experience of it. But I'm the type of person where like if you're gonna tell a story and like the story's not gonna really have any real, like obviously there were stakes because like it's like the whole, I mean everyone who's seen the trailer, you know, like he's like marching to his death, and the whole story is basically going around like, is he gonna follow through with this, like, you know, this pact that he made to just like basically die, and like all the different things that happen in between. So like I guess like I'd say like I was coming from the perspective of while I was watching it, I was like, I know this isn't gonna be like some Lord of the Rings epic where there's gonna be some crazy fights, and like honestly like for like, I mean these guys both know like I'm not the type of person who needs all of that in a movie to enjoy it, but I was kind of just like I wanted to see his journey as a character, and like immediately as soon as I left the movie I was like, bro, what the fuck? Because the ending, I guess I won't try to spoil the ending, even though I guess we said spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But like the very like last 10 minutes of the movie kind of like undid everything I thought the movie was trying to say. And it's, I don't know, it like felt like it was trying to like give the message of like sometimes the best thing to do is to just like run away and like understand your limits. And I was like, I think that's fair, because I think most people in life get overly ambitious and don't understand like, you know, it's okay to like, you know where your limits are, and like it's okay to not be like, you know, the like honorable, like chivalrous, like manly man type archetype. And especially for like the era when it was written, I was like, this is like pretty poignant. But then it kind of undoes all of that at the end, and he still goes through with things, and like it felt like it was kind of just like, you know, at that point you're like, it's kind of telling the like the lesson of like, oh well, go through with your promises and go through with the commitments you make, no matter how bad they might be. You have to see things through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I fuck with that. But then like he was gonna die anyway, and I was like, okay, well we could have had this without that whole like languid dream sequence that happens at the end, which I won't like get into.
Which was very long.
It was very long, and it was cool, but like it was like I didn't want that to just be a dream sequence, you know. And like if it was, I needed it to like feel a bit, I don't know, it felt like I didn't really know anything about any of the characters in the story, and I guess that might be purposeful, but like it's hard to care about like such a pivotal decision when like you barely know enough about the main character to care about the main character. So I feel like, I was saying this yesterday, I feel like the movie could have used like 30 more minutes of like exposition before he went on his like journey, and it could have cut the journey down. Because as cool as it was to see stuff like, you know, the Attack on Titan shit, it's like I didn't need that in the movie personally to like get what
that part
get what
specifically
the movie
didn't really add anything.
Yeah, there was like a few moments.
I was
where
gonna say it didn't
really,
add anything for me, but then I'm kind of like, no, it just kind of like objectively didn't really add anything.
And there's a few moments like in the movie where I'm like, okay, we've spent like 15-20 minutes of time in this one place just for this to not really matter, you know, like the only like time along his, like the few times along his journey where I felt like something really mattered was when he was with the fox in the cave. It showed his compassion when he was like, you know, with Saint Winifred, and like went and got her skull, because that also again showed like something about his character. And then like the whole beginning part where he gets like his horse stolen and shit just felt like pretty, like we didn't need that to be like as long as it was. And then like the whole point, like, and then the part I guess in like the house was also important. So like there's like, and then like the Attack on Titan stuff just wasn't needed. So that's like a good like 20 to 30 minutes of the movie they could have cut out. And if they would have like dedicated that to like giving us some exposition, so we knew a bit more about Dev Patel's character and like what makes him tick, other than like the fact that he was like, you know, this drunk who like, we don't even know why he's a drunk. He just kind of is like this drunk party boy.
He seems like he's just kind of like, because he's like the king's nephew, he's kind of like the royal, like, you know what I mean? Like
Outcast,
easy life party boy.
Exactly. And that's fine, but like there's obviously like anybody who's like using substances really has a reason, that, you know. And then they try to by the end be like, oh, he's had this huge journey from being that thing to this other thing, but like I barely even understand why he was that thing to begin with, you know. So I'm kind of just like, I don't know, I was a bit underwhelmed, if I'm being honest, just from like a story standpoint, but like everything else other than like how the story unfolded and like came together in its resolution was really fucking good. Like I said,
Yeah.
so like I'd give it like a 6. And like it passes from the standpoint of like it's an above average movie and like it does some things really well. But for myself personally, like I always like you could put together like Clerks, for example. You could put together a shitty movie with terrible visuals, terrible sound, and all those things. And like as long as the characters and like the journey that they go through and the story's good, I will like fuck with that movie heavy. And I feel like the things that really mattered, it failed on. AKA, I got A24'd. I'm making it a verb. Like, I feel like A24 does this thing where they put out amazing trailers and you're like, holy shit, this is gonna be really cool. And then, like, you see a movie like Waves or, like,
and just
it's
visually,
just like, yeah,
really,
it's,
like,
exactly.
Even Waves was, like, visually. Like,
It was. It really was.
No, it was. I'm
then
not
it-
joking.
it-
The
like,
movie's
it was, like,
horrible.
it was
Don't
ass,
watch
but
Waves.
it-
Do not
don't
waste
watch
your
it.
time
Remember y'all
watching Waves.
told
One
me
of
the
worst
plot
movies
of
ever,
Waves, and I was like, what the fuck did I just hear?
Exactly. And, like, I feel like the past few A24 movies I've watched, I've walked away from it being like, I didn't need to watch this movie. This just felt like a film student sniffing his own farts, or her own farts were inclusive, or their own farts. But yeah, I don't know. That's like kind of how I felt about it. That was way longer than I thought I'd be, but I'm pretentious and a film guy, so like yeah. Of course. What about you?
I understand what you're saying, but like I honestly like the more I've thought about it, I like really liked it.
That's fair.
Like I really liked it. There's like it's weird because a lot of what you said is like right and I agree with, but like at the same time I think it just didn't matter to me. Like I think that's just like
fair.
You know what I mean? Like it's like yeah, he was underdeveloped, yeah, but it's also like when it ended I was like fuck yeah, that was awesome. Like I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Like everything. I mean, like, I'm not going to talk anymore. Like, the visuals are obviously amazing. Mm-hmm. The sound design is obviously amazing. The score is also really cool.
Yeah.
It's very, like, different, and they do a lot of weird stuff in the score. That was
different.
That was really cool. The acting's phenomenal. There's a lot of, like Loki famous people in it that I kind of, like, didn't know or, like, forgot that were going to be in it. But, yeah, in terms of the story, I don't know. Like, I was just... There was never a moment where I was bored in that movie. Like, I was, like... gripped the entire time, and for a movie where like nothing really happens to somehow find a way to grip me like that, I don't really know how it did it. Maybe it was witchcraft.
Like there was there was a lot of gripping in that movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of gripping. Yeah, maybe it was that scene specifically that just, like, really got a hold of me.
Yeah, the cum shot.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I think I'm joking. There was literally a cum shot.
No, yeah. If you haven't seen it and you're just still listening, because fuck the spoilers. Yeah, there is a nut shot.
If there's any reason to watch it, it's probably that nut shot.
Yeah, the night was green, the cum was white, as our friend Sage would say. Shouts out Sage.
Shouts out Sage.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess like. I don't know, maybe just like being the age that I am, I enjoyed the story of like like a kid going out to try and prove himself in a way kind of thing, and then like learning that like like there is still value in like being a good person.
Okay.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, I really liked it.
That's fair. I do want to tell the audience that Liam doesn't like Avatar, so take his opinion.
Avatar is an objectively bad fucking movie, dude. That shit is so bad. You're the only person I know who likes that movie.
Hey,
what happens in that movie, bro?
Bro, I will literally go through the plot.
No, we don't need to.
Word
I
It's fucking 4 hours long for like no reason.
I feel like every single human being on Earth has seen Avatar. I feel like 1 in 100 could tell you what happens in the movie. I could not tell you the plot. I just know it's like, I guess it's like colonizing a planet, but then like that's about it. And then the dude like fucks the queen's daughter or something, right?
Yeah, he does lay
Okay,
pipe.
I knew that.
There's
I knew
a
he
sex
laid some
scene.
pipe.
There's a sex scene.
With this
but they like
ponytail
fuck with
or
like
whatever,
ponytails.
yeah. Which is the same way that they ride the animals, which is so fucking sus, dude.
It makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
It makes sense.
Nothing in that movie, bro. That movie's bad. Stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Boo. Bad take. Boo.
Hey, all I gotta say is, if you're gonna watch The Green Knight, I'd say watch it at home.
I would say go see it in theaters. Genuinely, I think it's a good movie to see in theaters, just because visually and like the sound wise, it's like amazing.
You're gonna get A24'd. I'm telling you.
It's a good movie.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying, like, the story leaves a lot to be desired. Especially because, like, you tell me afterwards that, like, the actual story that it's based on has a way more fulfilling, like, conclusion.
See, that's another thing I want to talk about. That was the ending I interpreted from the movie.
But you knew what the story was. Like, do you think he lived or died at the end?
Fuck, I genuinely think he died at the end.
Okay, see, that's how I
interpreted it like clearly as like he let him go.
But you knew that, like,
yeah,
in the
but
actual
maybe
story,
that's just
he lets
because
him go.
I haven't read the thing. I just looked up YouTube videos because I hate myself and I just like have no self control, and I had to know what happened right away. But yeah, maybe it's just because I knew that ahead of time and interpreted it that way. I mean, I guess it's definitely supposed to be left open ended. Like, you know what I mean?
Which is like, why? Like, this is a parable. You're supposed to like be. That's like
it's true. It's
what
like
I mean
myth,
by A20.
you know
That's what I mean by
like,
A24. It's like, bro, you're like this. This the whole point of like a story like this is to like give a lesson. And to leave it open ended, it's like, okay, then what's the fucking lesson here? You know what I mean? And like everyone can take something whatever they want away from it. But I feel like
that's
people,
fair. Yeah,
I feel like the filmmakers in like the room are just like, oh, we leave it open ended, and it'll be like, oh, Lynchian, and like then they'll blow us and give us an Oscar. It's like, bro, fucking finish your story. Like like that pisses me off, especially because like it's based on source material that's so old and like historical, like, and it has like a definitive ending. Like, give us that definitive ending.
Yeah, no,
it would have made it stronger.
I would have liked
too.
it more if they just.
I feel like it would have been
outright said
stronger.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just
and
me.
it wouldn't have like. It's not like it would have like taken much more time. You know what I mean? It would have been 5 minutes.
It could have been as simple as literally just a line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, we were going to spoilers. Like, the last line in the movie is now off with your head.
Yeah.
And like instead of making it not off with your head, it was like, now go on your way. Like, so it could have been as simple as just changing
like,
the line.
You just like show Dev Patel get back up on his horse and he rides away and then like you cut.
Yeah.
There. 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
It did not need much more time.
I know that he lives. I know that he let him go. I agree. I think that would have made it better. But like, honestly, I really like I genuinely like I really want to like go see it again.
I would low-key
like I really want to see it again because there's a lot of things that like I feel like I missed, and then like I also just really liked it. I'm not gonna like it's a solid like 8.5 for me.
Okay, 8.5, 6.
Yeah, like a light to decent 6.
Light to decent 6
on the Fantano scale.
Yeah.
But switching gears to a movie that's been out a little bit longer. We all saw Black Widow, the latest MCU movie, the first MCU movie in about, I think it was like a little less than 2 years.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Because Far From Home was the last one, and I can't remember when exactly. It might have been a little bit more than 2 years, but around there.
Yeah.
I guess going into it, I was excited. I was very excited to see it, but at the same time, my expectations weren't very high. But I was just excited because it was the first movie I saw back in theaters since COVID. And then also, like, the first Marvel movie we had seen for forever. So I was very excited to just have the experience. But at the same time, I feel like I knew what I was going into watching it. But what about you guys? What did you...
I can start this one. I really... I don't know. It was kind of weird because I saw it, like, not too long ago. But, like, I don't know. I don't remember being, like, super special, genuinely. Kind of like you, my expectations were also pretty low. Like, I wasn't expecting any, like, groundbreaking shit.
And Marvel hasn't been pushing this in the way that they pushed. Like, there was a lot of advertising. You saw the commercials a lot. But, like, you know how, like, Doctor Strange, they've been, like, pushing this narrative of it being game-changing, like, since it came out. Like, there was nothing like that for Black Widow. There was never this narrative around it being anything that special. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. I was mainly just looking for, like, a small, little, fun, entertaining story. And I'm not going to lie, Chief, that's what I got, and I'm low-key satisfied. Like, I think seeing Natalia...
Spoilers for Black Widow, of course.
Yes. I think seeing Natalia, my future wife...
Spoilers, it's like spoilers for the thing that, like, is, I guess, kind of spoiling itself.
It's like... no, and, like... And it's like, honestly, like, it's a pretty fucking predictable movie. So, like, even if you haven't seen it, like,
still, I guess.
If you haven't seen it and you're still here and you want to avoid spoilers, I hate to break it to you, everything that you expect is going to happen happens.
Yeah, and I mean, like, not much even happened, though.
Yeah.
She doesn't die in that one, just so you know. Like, she doesn't die.
I mean...
Not in Black Widow. You know?
If you thought she was, Jesus. But I'm glad that we got to see like her family, and that was kind of cool, and like that like family scene or whatever. That was really cool.
That was great. That was
probably my favorite part.
the opening sequence and the family dinner scene were my two favorites.
I'd say the family dinner and maybe the prison break were probably my two favorites.
The prison break was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I'll get into it more, but I had problems with the prison break scene.
Yeah, but like besides that though, like I don't know, like I my only expectations were that I had no expectations. That I just wanted like a fun little circle story, and that's exactly what I got. So like I can't complain too much, but I don't know. If anything, this made me more excited, I guess, for like Multiverse of Madness, and unlike the next coming Marvel movies, because like this is more of, I don't want to say this was a hurdle to get over, but like now that I've already seen this and it's passed, those movies are coming sooner. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So if that was what they were trying to do, then I mean, good shit.
Hey, good lick, Disney.
Good lick. I respect it. But yeah, they got my money, so fuck.
Yeah.
What about you, Timon?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I like went and saw it, and
Okay, you just be the guy that shits on every movie, bro. Okay,
yeah, sorry, you know, like it was actually pretty bad. I went
For
and
reference,
saw it.
Timon is not normally that guy who shits on every
that's
movie.
how you know it's bad.
These just these two just happened to
they
be
actually
ones
just
that he did not
suck.
like.
Yeah, like, they actually just were bad. I mean, Green Knight wasn't bad. It's just like underwhelming. It was like you guys like basically had. It's like if you know someone's cooking.
What would you say they did?
It's like someone's cooking. It's like you're cooking like pasta and then like you add too much salt. It's
Gabagool.
It's like it still tastes kind of good. But
What
like
is
oh you fucked it up. You know
gabagool?
that's how the Green Knight was. Now like Black Widow was like white people chicken without like seasoning. They just like put like salt and pepper on that hoe and like tried to feed me that and say that was like Indian curry. Like she was bad. I fell asleep during it. That's how bad it was. I'm like really not trying to be that guy because I don't want to be like that guy who like hates on like one of like two female led movies in Marvel history. but
Timon.
yeah, I guess I'm misogynistic now. But no, like seriously, the movie was tough because like one, the stakes were just not there. So you knew Black Widow was gonna like walk away from it, and like every character they set up in the movie that was like any type of interesting, you knew was gonna live to see another day. So like. Well, going into it, I was kind of just hoping to learn a lot about like what made and like my expectations seriously were not that high. It was just like I wanted to learn about what made Natasha, what made her tick, and like what turned somebody who's like done all these evil things into like a good, quote unquote, like whatever that means, good person in the like in this world. And like I didn't really get that. Like, a lot of it just felt like setting up other characters and setting up other things.
Yeah.
It felt like it wasn't really her movie. It felt like Florence Pugh's movie, and she was great. Like,
she was.
Yelena was her name, right?
Yeah.
I think she was great, and, like, I'm super excited to see her. I'm sure, like, Red Riot or whatever his name is, like Red Rocket.
Guardian.
Yeah, that guy. He's gonna be in a bunch.
That's the My Hero character.
Yeah, true.
Red Riot is the My Hero.
Red Rocket is definitely gonna be in like future stuff, and he's funny. And like the mom character was just kind of like just like cookie cutter, but like she was also fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Yelena was like the one who really stole the show, and I was kind of just like, they could have just easily made a movie about Yelena after finding out that Scarlett Johansson died, and then just showing flashbacks of the two of them. And like it would have been just as good because like she felt like a background character in her own movie, which kind of sucked, especially because it's supposed to be like her big movie, like her big moment. And then I don't know, like it just was underwhelming overall for me, and not underwhelming in the sense of like I had high expectations, but just like I went into it expecting exactly what I got, but they somehow made a worse version of exactly what I expected. And like I don't know, that kind of sucked. But
yeah, I feel you.
But I feel like I get why people might like it. It's just like I was hoping, as somebody who's like been pretty invested in the MCU for so many years, to like walk away from it understanding a character who like this is like her like farewell song. At least they're probably gonna bring an alternate reality version of her into things, I'm sure.
Okay, so that's interesting you brought that up. I don't think that'll happen now because of the suing Disney thing. If anyone who's listening didn't see Scarlett Johansson suing Disney.
Holy shit.
For money over the movie because of the Disney Premier Access thing, because apparently her contract, she took a percentage of what it made at the box office. So now I'm kind of like, why would she risk putting herself in the bad blood of one of the biggest and most evil corporations in the world if like she wanted to come back?
Ooh.
I feel like she'll
I mean, I
come
guess
back.
it's kind of beside.
I mean,
Yeah.
RDJ kind of was like, yeah, I'm leaving Iron Man in the middle of Iron Man, and like obviously they like worked it out, but I feel like sometimes you play hardball depending on the situation. It's money at the end of the day, and like if Disney can like buy The Simpsons, and The Simpsons just historically makes fun of Disney, and like fold them into their shit, I feel like they can reconcile.
Simpsons still makes fun of Disney.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Even in like their ads for
Yeah.
Disney, they're making fun of Disney. So I'm sure that like I'm sure they can always come to if she wants to be involved, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be able to do it. But overall,
that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I don't know. That's really my take. It's just like kind of like go see the movie if you care enough. But if you're someone who like is going into this like hoping to like me hoping to learn something about the character of Black Widow, don't go see it in theaters. Just wait till it's on Disney Plus. But if you're someone who wants to see like a nice, fun MCU, like one of those like mid-tier MCU movies, at least in my opinion, that's like basic MCU humor, basic MCU story, everything what you're gonna get, and at the end of the day, like on like not very compelling bad guy who's gonna end up being irrelevant by the end of the movie, and like the heroes get a very easy like they have like a big moral dilemma that they like never really resolve type of deal. Then it's not bad. It's really not bad.
That's kind of what my expectations were for the movie, and I like walking out of the theater. I was like, cool. Like that was exactly what I expected it to be, and I wasn't like excited. You know what I mean? I wasn't. Well, like I said before, I wasn't really excited. I wasn't like, well, I was excited. I just wasn't. I had my expectations set. But yeah, I would say like, the thing a few people have asked me, and like the thing I keep saying is like, it's worth watching once, but I will probably never go back to watch it again. Unless I'm doing like a big MCU rewatch or something, you know what I mean? Like I'm sitting down and watching all of them because I'm watching all of them. That's
if I did do that too, I think I'd watch it in like the place in the timeline where it actually would have fit.
Yeah, I think
maybe would have been better. I feel like the movie maybe would have been better if it came out before we knew she died.
Definitely would have been better.
It would have definitely had more stakes.
A lot of people like mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it definitely would have been way better if they put it during the timeline, and that's on Disney for just not thinking that the movie would sell well until now, and not wanting to give a female-led movie until now, which is ridiculous.
Captain Marvel made $1 billion, and they were like, "Oh shit."
Okay.
Also, wait, Captain Marvel made $1 billion?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that movie. Holy
You haven't seen Captain Marvel?
Nah, man. We talked about this.
You don't need to.
It's I don't mean like you have to see. I just meant that's surprising that you haven't seen.
Because
it's okay.
Everyone just said it's
like see that's
shit.
probably the best comparison I would give Black Widow.
Yeah, same. But I hate to do that because it's like the two.
Yeah, I know, and I don't.
I'm trying to think. Let me
think
think of another.
Wait, like that ass. Which one's better?
It's like Captain America. I know that movie's way better than this one. Fuck.
Come on, which one's better, this or Captain Marvel? Like actually, because if you say that one's better, I'll watch that. Then if it's not, I'll think about it.
I didn't fall asleep watching Captain Marvel. But then again, like I said, like if it wasn't for the fact that I knew she was gonna she's gonna live. Like, there's what are the stakes? And it's like they're not gonna kill like Florence Pugh. Like you're so beautiful and like you're so good in this role. You're not gonna kill you. David Harbour's funny. The villain's not gonna get away because like they would have been talking about this villain in other movies. Like like everything about the movie just had that wind sucked out of it. like I said, it just didn't do much for. Yeah, Captain Marvel's a better movie. I'm just gonna keep rambling.
Yeah, I feel like I would say I probably like Captain Marvel more.
All right, because like I don't know, I considered that watchable. So then I will at bare minimum find a decent likable story within Captain Marvel. I would hope.
Yeah,
it's worth watching once.
Captain Marvel, but then I will say Black Widow wasn't boring to me. Like it was entertaining the whole time. Captain Marvel has parts of it that I was like, bro, can we move on?
Oh yeah.
But then like there were parts that were also like genuinely entertaining. Like there's like a twist in the movie that actually like Marvel is not very good at twist. Well, actually they're occasionally good at twists. Mm-hmm. But that was like one that I was like, oh, like actually you guys actually like got me really good on that one. Like that's a very like good creative decision.
Nice.
From a movie that was like pretty boring storytelling the entire time. But I might bust that Tatiana down in the next in the short term. Yeah, I'd put it in the same tier as Black Widow. It's like it's worth watching the one time for watching it.
Okay.
But,
It's like Age of Ultron.
There's not much.
It's like a movie that's like
yeah.
It's like not crazy great, but like it's worth watching.
Age of Ultron is also a really good comparison. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I didn't really like the Age of Ultron movie much, but I really liked Ultron, like a lot.
Yeah.
Ultron's
like,
and that's
the best.
kind of how these
one of my
movies are
favorite
too.
characters.
It's like it has good characters.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
like the movie itself is not a good movie, but you can find like it's.
And like Black
It's
Widow
that
has
tier of
Yelena.
Marvel.
Like
Yeah.
Yelena is like an awesome character. Like every time she was on screen, I was like, yeah,
Stole
just
the
keep
show.
going. Yeah.
I will. Yeah.
I had to find a comparison that wasn't another female-led movie. I was like, bro, please no. Or like Iron Man, like I don't know, whichever one's 2, I guess.
Yeah. Iron Man 2
Yeah.
also. It's like
Same kind of vibe.
yeah.
So it's worth watching.
I genuinely love the Iron. Like I loved all the Iron Man movies so much just because I loved RDJ so much.
And that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Same thing. Well, it was hard to do with the whole movies, but we can move on.
And now we'll get into the ending of the MCU's latest Disney Plus show, Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which was quite the ending, to say the least. A little bit more eventful than the Black Widow movie, I would say.
Yeah.
So, well, we started with Josh with the other two. So, Timon, what are your initial thoughts on the Loki? Loki as a series, and then we'll talk about the ending. Right, we'll talk about Loki as a series. Well, whatever you want to do, but talk about Loki as a series, and then talk about the ending on its own. And what
Should I like break it up, or are we gonna go around first,
we'll
like
go
initial
around,
thoughts?
Whatever you want.
I guess I'll give initial thoughts.
Whatever. It's Timon Day here.
Alright, perfect. This never happens. People don't care about what I think. So, Loki as a series, I'd say it's pretty good overall. At first, I'm not like, it's funny because I'm this episode I just sound like like the Anthony Fantano of like movies, but like usually like I don't mind things that are slow burn, and I need to rewatch the second episode of Loki. But the first episode, I thought it was like kind of like, where's this going? And then it felt very like, it felt pretty nice toward the end when he had that like realization and that moment where he's like watching his own life.
That was sick.
That was really good. And then the second episode, it felt like it just kind of was like they were almost just like stalling for time.
Yeah.
And like not really trying to like, they were just like, oh, this has got. They felt like they were like, oh, this got to be like 6 episodes. We're just gonna like take up a lot of time, and like I didn't feel like it like really like did anything to push Loki's character forward, and that was kind of annoying because this felt like like at least the series felt like a character study. But then the third episode, it started to pick back up again. Thought it was pretty damn good, and like it ended pretty strong. The second half was, I think, better than the first, and like the one thing I'll say, like minus that like dip down in the second episode for me, like every episode got better than the last as it went on, and we'll get into the ending and stuff at the end. But overall, like I have my qualms with it, but I think it was like probably one of the better MCU things that's been put out in general.
Yeah, totally.
Especially in like thinking about it in hindsight, because I didn't really necessarily feel that way when I first watched it by the end, even though I loved the ending. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think yeah, it's like actually not as negative as I thought it'd be. Like,
I was gonna say.
I just kind of
wasn't that negative.
I just kind of like had my reservations about it.
No, yeah. One thing I'll say is it's been surprising to me that like people are talking about this show as it's like the consensus best pick of the Disney Plus show so far.
A lot of people are saying it's like the best
people
MCU thing.
People are like, yeah,
I've seen
they're
a
saying
lot
it's
of
one
that.
of the best
Yeah.
MCU things, and I loved Loki. Like I really did, but it's just not there for me. Like WandaVision is still my favorite of the Disney Plus shows. It's definitely better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I like Falcon and Winter Soldier. So like, but it's definitely better than that for me.
Yeah, I agree.
One thing
it's
I'll
kind of
say
racist
is,
that you said that, but I mean, I agree.
Why do you gotta, bro? Why do you the nigga show?
I joke.
Damn, not because of anything.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna move on.
Okay, yeah,
The one thing I will say is that I think that the finale of Loki is the best episode of any of the Disney Plus shows so far.
That's fair.
Like just on its own, that episode is by far my favorite. Like I really like. I haven't had a chance yet, but I really want to go back and watch that episode. Specifically, just every scene with fucking Kang in it.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid the ending, but yeah,
good.
Bro,
Oh my
he was really
god,
good. He's insane.
But yeah, I guess I kind of low-key started, so I'll just finish the rest of my thoughts on it now. But yeah, like I said, I really it started off slow for me, but I was invested into it. Like, I would never say I lost interest per se, but I would say, yeah, I remember the second episode being pretty dull because it was just kind of like, what are we doing? Oh, we're Loki, we're going here. It's like, where are we going now, Loki? Oh, we're going here now, Loki. Where are we going here?
All these Lokis.
Oh, and then it's just like, oh, yes, there's another Loki. It's like, whoa, yeah. And that episode.
What are we gonna do with all these Lokis?
But you know,
Loki. There's a girl one now.
Yeah, it's a girl Loki. Oh no, he's fucking himself.
But I mean, for a 6-episode series to have one bad episode, you know, that's not bad. That's not bad. And the third episode was like really picked it back up from there for me. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this show. Specifically the past like what was that, 3 or 4 episodes. But yeah, now Joe, I'll let you go from there. Sorry, I didn't mean to like cut you in the order, but
yeah, like how fucking dare you, you ass. Anyway,
happened.
I don't know. My overall thoughts on the show are mostly positive. I genuinely enjoyed like the ending portion. Let me start from the beginning. I don't know. I'd say in the beginning, genuinely, there were multiple points in the show where I just got lost and I just kind of like dropped off. Specifically, the second and the third episode. I think that's literally where I stopped actually, and had to kind of catch back up from there. Just because like I felt like, I don't know, it was kind of moving too slow and going in a bunch of different directions at once, and it just kind of felt really, really convoluted.
Didn't you? I swear it was. I think the second episode. Didn't you fall asleep when we were watching it together? I think it was the second episode we were watching together, and you fell asleep.
But I will say, I kind of went into that like DOA intent because like I'm just not the biggest. Like I know he's like probably one of the best MCU villains like out there. I just personally wasn't as invested in Loki as I feel a lot of other people were.
Totally fair.
Like I liked was it the first Avenger movie that you pulled up in? I thought that was really cool. Like I really enjoyed that movie, but I don't know. There's just so many other villains that I personally gravitate to like way more. But I will say, after watching the 4th, 5th, and 6th episodes, like obviously that's like where it kicked the fuck off and like started taking shape. That like I was like literally my ass was 2 inches on my seat, Chief.
Yeah.
Like I was at the edge of my seat. I was like eyes peeled. It was fire. It was really fucking fire. Because that's where things started to pick back up. But I will say, overall though, I don't know. That beginning part was kind of rough. But yeah, I think like the ending made up for it.
Where does it rank for you in the Disney Plus shows?
I was getting to that actually.
Oh, okay.
Personally,
sorry, I didn't mean to rush you.
Yeah, thanks
You're
for
an
rushing.
artist. I didn't mean to rush you. My bad.
I'd say personally, I'm not gonna lie, man. Because like I remember what you said was you'd rank the last episode as the best ever. I gotta give like the last episode of WandaVision, man. Like that was
really the last one.
Yes, bro. That was.
See,
I mean,
the last episode of WandaVision isn't even my favorite episode of WandaVision.
I'm talking about like
it's not even in the top like 3.
I really enjoyed it, man. Like I really liked like there was a lot at stake. There was a lot at stake, and a lot like came. I don't know. A lot of material change happened in that episode. Genuinely, like the whole like with Vision coming back and shit like that, and just me.
Wait,
like,
that is a good moment. Like the 2 Visions like talking.
The ship of Thesis.
That was really
sick.
cool.
And then like Loki, I just genuinely I don't know.
Loki.
Loki. Fuck, I keep saying.
Yo, Loki, bro.
I don't know if y'all know. I was just never like the biggest like Wanda fan. You know what I mean? But like seeing her.
I
like,
love me some
No,
Wanda.
I mean like in her power because she's fine as fuck, obviously.
No.
What do you
I
mean?
meant like I loved her as a character. You misogynistic.
Anyway,
What is
so
hold on. Let's pause.
getting
here.
into her powers.
Pig.
So I just never.
I also think she's attractive. I think she's very attractive.
I'm actually also a Future fan. I just want to drop that for the end. So
part of the church, a fellow brother.
So like I never really was the biggest fan of Wanda because like I don't know.
Would you say that Wanda belongs to the streets?
Oh my god. But
Nah, she's dedicated to Vision.
she is.
Put some respect on her name.
Yes, she's a faithful, respectful.
Agatha.
I was just about to say
Agatha.
Agatha belongs.
She
to
runs the streets.
Yeah,
be honest.
Yeah, she would be the pimp.
Nah, I had never like known how like just how powerful like Wanda was, and I think that episode gave us like a direct, clear glimpse of that. I thought that was really fucking cool because that's not really something I that was something I expected, I guess, but they did it really well. I will say,
especially because like for a long time they teased like how like she was like damn near the strongest Avenger. She pulled up on Thanos. She should have beat Thanos' ass. Like he's like rain fire, like, pussy ass nigga. He's about to nuke the whole fucking like like universe.
Yeah. So like
I
they
don't know if I'd
like
say Thanos is a pussy, but
Hey, bro, in that moment he was a pussy, bro. He was scared with a T.
He was scared. So yeah, they let her loose, and I thought that was so cool. So like for that, I don't know. I'm personally gonna rank WandaVision, and then like Loki's a strong fucking second. Like it's maybe like a.
I
don't know,
agree. Probably, yeah.
95 to like 90 or like 89. Like literally right, like neck and neck. I genuinely just did not like Falcon. I didn't like. I did not like that.
Well, you didn't like the war crimes?
what about Timon? You didn't give your rank. Where would you put this?
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. I think WandaVision is my favorite because I like Wanda and Loki damn near like equally as characters, but I had a more fun time and I was more engaged all the way through with WandaVision than I was with Loki. Because like I said, that second episode kind of dipped off, and even the first episode I was kind of like, huh. And the whole crux of Loki was like, excuse me, I'm disgusting. The whole crux of Loki was that it's supposed to be like I am a pig. It was supposed to be like a mystery, and I feel like I like guessed. We watched it together. I like was guessing most everything that was happening.
It was,
and if
yeah,
I
it
wasn't
wasn't
guessing
very-
it, you were
yeah.
guessing it. And then
It
like
wasn't-
the only big surprise was Kang, and that's only because I didn't know, and I'm pretty sure you had brought up that you thought Kang was gonna be in it. So it was like
Yeah,
it wasn't
I thought
like
it seemed like reasonable. I was just like it seemed like it could happen. It was just like I was more like, is Marvel going to pull out this actor yet? You know what I mean? Like story wise, it all made sense. It was more so like I was surprised from like a like finances perspective.
hey, they got that, bro. You got no.
But yeah,
they got that money. But no, but it was that was kind of why for me. It was kind of like they were like advertising this as like the Lynchian Marvel thing, and it's like I feel like there was other.
It was quite Lynchian.
Yeah, it's not, and it's like I feel like there was other things that were like I felt like were more of a mystery in Marvel's like history, as far as like that rhymed. As far as
oh my god, alliteration.
oh my god. But yeah, so I'd go WandaVision because I really think that was like the strongest from start to finish, and then Loki. I think Loki's highs are arguably higher than WandaVision's highs. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the nigger one. Why'd everyone get so quiet? Why so quiet?
How am I supposed to respond?
Okay, fine. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
the colored one.
I see, like, why?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, and like I don't know, like my issues with that movie were.
I'm sorry. I did not need to drop that hard R. I am so sorry. Everyone listening, if you feel uncomfortable.
Nah,
I
We will
apologize.
never reach monetization.
Liam will censor that out. She forget.
Yeah, don't please. Don't. If you do, it's kind of racist.
Bro, why do you just keep making it?
I'm dead.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
But nah, I will say Loki. Fuck, I guess I'm saying that.
Hey, yo, Loki. Hey, high key, Loki.
Loki. One thing this show did do really well is I'm really excited for Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, it definitely did
Yeah,
a great job.
I did agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going into this, the showrunner for Loki is the same person who's writing the script for Multiverse of Madness. So I had a feeling it was going to set it up, but I think I was surprised in the fact that it literally we literally just like saw that bitch open.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have predicted the extent to how much it set it up. But yeah, I was happy that it did that. I thought that was very cool.
Mm-hmm. And something it has me kind of thinking of is like, so that they're going to continue the like Loki's story, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be season 2, which is really interesting. So
yeah.
that's something I was not.
And
I expected that Loki would get another season eventually. I was just surprised that they announced it right away like that.
yeah, and which so like holy shit, is that gonna run parallel with Multiverse?
Yeah, we have no
Madness?
idea.
Because like holy shit,
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what's bracking.
Because like as far as we know, Loki isn't in Doctor Strange yet.
I kind of called.
So,
I kind of called that he was
You
gonna
did,
be.
yeah.
In, I thought he was gonna be in WandaVision.
Yeah.
But I knew Loki and the TVA were gonna definitely be involved in like all this multiverse shit. So I'm happy that they went that route.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it ties into Spider-Man. Please give me some more Spider-Man.
Some more Spidey.
No, yeah, I would say this show did a great job of getting me excited for the MCU going forward, which I don't know if WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier did that necessarily as much. Like it didn't didn't ruin anything for it, but I wouldn't say it got me on the same level as this did. Like this, WandaVision ends very just like the ending is very much just involving the show. And same with Falcon and Winter Soldier. But this show was like, oh, this is not only did we set up the next Thanos, but we set up like the next major event for the next probably Avengers movie, and then the next like Doctor Strange movie too, which was really cool to see.
See, I agree-ish, but like I also feel like WandaVision got me hype a bit more for like things in the future, but it was like more so like hype for her. Because I knew it was like her and Doctor Strange, because like they released stupid shit like casting way too early, so like we know she's gonna be in the Doctor Strange movie. So I was like, okay, well, I guess multiverse is going to be, like, ripped open by Wanda. Mm-hmm. But the fact that now it seems like... I mean, it still could be partly her fault. But it seems like it is bigger than just her as to why it opened. I feel like it's going to be, like, one of those deals where, like, Doctor Strange will be like, Wanda, you opened the multiverse. And then, like, Loki's going to pull up and be like, she didn't open it. It was this Kang guy. And then they're going to have to, like... They're going to, like, try to find Kang and then realize that there's no way that they can even try to take him on at this point. And then, like, move on.
Infinite...
Wait, Disney, can you cast Timon as all these characters?
Yeah, I should be. I should be these characters.
Hey, you got all these Lokis.
I'm begging you.
Also, instead of dropping the hard R, I should have said Captain and the Winter Negro. I know the Winter Soldier's the white one, but like I think that works just as well. Sorry, I was just trying to think of how I could be better for the future. I'm always trying to, critique myself in the moment.
I guess we're always here for growth, at least.
Mm-hmm. I'm black, so like don't feel uncomfortable. Too uncomfortable.
No, he's not. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
You're about to get this podcast like ripped off.
We're just never gonna get monetization. Like it's just never. We're never gonna get a single sponsor. Ever.
No, I'm joking. We're all black.
No, don't say that either. We're not. I am not black. If you couldn't tell by like every single thing about me. I feel so uncomfortable right now.
No, I'm joking. So yeah.
So back to Loki.
I'd watch it. I think if you're gonna watch the Marvel shows, watch WandaVision, watch Loki.
Yeah.
Get to Captain America, and the Winter Soldier later. If you have to, he becomes Captain America. That's all you really.
Shocker.
Yeah.
This is kind of random, but I saw the trailer for that short stories one that's coming out soon.
What if? Yeah.
Yeah,
What if looks
and
really cool.
that's gonna be. I'm excited, but I'm scared to be excited.
They already announced What If is getting a season 2 too, which is cool.
Okay.
Which is like it makes sense because it's not like canon. You know what I mean?
So also shout out Marvel What If on YouTube. This guy's been doing that exact thing for years, and they definitely saw his shit, and they definitely saw how many views he was getting, and they definitely ripped his idea. So shouts out to this dude because it was literally called What If. He's been on YouTube forever. I don't know if like you'll ever listen to this, and I need to exactly find the exact like channel name, but he's been doing this for like at least 5 to 6
What If
plus
has
years.
been a Marvel comic since like the 70s, 60s.
See, well, that doesn't matter. So
With like the exact premise of what the show. I mean,
but-
shout out
but-
that dude. That's
but-
cool. I
but-
was like saying like.
But all I gotta say is, I knew about the YouTube, I didn't know about the comic. That kind of tells you which one's more culturally relevant.
I guess it does.
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Shouts out that dude because he's been doing this shit, and like I feel like some of these What If stories are scarily similar to some of the ones he was putting out on YouTube. So shouts out that man.
Yeah, I haven't seen that channel, but that sounds cool.
You should check it out. Like, they're actually all really cool. Like, he goes as deep as like what if like Andrew Garfield's like Spider-Man was like in like this like canon MCU.
It's like, well, we're gonna find out.
And stuff. Yeah, I guess, yeah. But it's like, what if he like was in Infinity War and stuff?
And
it's like cool. Yeah.
My boy Toby.
He has one with Toby too.
I need one where it's like, what if Danny DeVito was Peter Parker?
Tell me about this comic real quick before we go.
It was like the same thing as the show. It was like it was just like each issue would be like a different thing, and it would be like what if like this happened? You know what I mean? Like from the trailer, it looks like there's one where it's like, what if T'Challa was Star-Lord? You know what I mean? Just shit like that. What if Peter Parker
I'm saying,
didn't get bit by a spider?
I'm saying like
you know
the comic was that way too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll print a retraction and I'm retracting. I guess.
And I think I haven't read them, but I think that it had the same premise where it was like from the point of view of like the Watcher guy. But I could be wrong on that, or maybe some. I mean, it's been like around for like forever, so maybe like some were and some weren't. But yeah,
That's cool. And
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the one where they're doing like a different animation style, right, for each or some shit?
No, you're thinking of Star Wars Visions.
Okay, yeah, my bad. Ooh, that I'm also really excited for.
But yeah, no. The next few, I mean, it's looking. We got a little bit of a break for MCU content right now, except for What If, which is like, I'm excited for it, but it's not this. Doesn't fill the Marvel need for me in the same way because it's not like canon content.
Yeah.
But after that, we're getting Shang-Chi.
Yes.
We're getting There was rumors that Miss Marvel was going to be coming out around then, but now there's rumors that it's getting delayed because of like COVID stuff.
I'm hyped for Shang-Chi.
But Shang-Chi, Eternals, the Hawkeye show is coming out in November too, and then Spider-Man, Doctor Strange.
Ooh,
and then there'll probably be another Disney Plus show in there somewhere.
The Guardians of the Galaxy game is also coming out relatively soon.
I don't care.
I also don't care. No,
I'm not gonna play that game.
I personally think it's gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I just want the audience to know, look out for that when it.
Hey, audience, you shouldn't care about that game.
Yeah, Loki. No.
Watch that game be fucking amazing, and I'm gonna have to come on here and just like eat my words.
You could be like me and have to print a retraction 10 seconds after saying something. Because this is print and not audio.
Print a retraction.
Bruh. Nah, I don't know. It's set up for. I don't know. There's just certain factors about it that I don't like personally, but that's for another episode.
It is.
Watch Loki. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. And on that note, we will. I think that's where we'll. I don't, do you guys have any more thoughts on Loki? I think that's pretty much everything I have to say. But yeah, like overall, like I'm just really excited for the MCU going forward.
I do have one final closing thoughts.
Yeah.
So y'all remember, that scene where Loki and Sylvie, I apologize. They gave each other a deep sensual kiss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that incest technically?
No.
Or is it like what is that? What does that count? What is that?
Self-cessed.
Self-cessed. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna try to make a joke, but this is territory I don't want to dip into, which is rare for me. So yeah, I don't know what you call that.
I'm not touching.
Weird is what you would call it.
Yeah,
I'm not uncomfortable.
All I say is if there was a bad female version of myself,
well, it would be.
I'll leave it at that.
So it wouldn't be bad.
I mean, now we both know that's a lie.
Wait, you said you hit that?
No comment.
Dear Lord.
Would you, John?
You're telling me if you had a hot version of yourself that was trying to freak your shit from an alternate universe?
Timon, first of all...
I'll answer for him. I know he would do it, so that's just,
Come
first
on,
of all,
don't lie. We know what...
First of all...
We know what you get into.
I don't even believe in sex before marriage, so that's already off the table.
Of course, that's disgusting. We were talking about kissing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I don't kiss before marriage either.
Wow, you're really straight edge.
A real Christian.
Yep. I told Bible Jesus. I love my Jesus. I love me some Jesus.
Yeah. I love white Jesus.
Yeah.
I also.
But I mean, Jesus hung out with prostitutes, and I feel like they kind of like really made that a little bit more censored than it really was. He was like, "Yeah, bring me the prostitutes." Like, okay, Jesus, what were you doing? I'm going to hell. All right, let's.
Yeah, but you already were. All right, fellas, where can they find you?
That's all, folks.
You wanna go?
Yeah, you can find me at Twitter and also Instagram.
At Twitter?
On Twitter.
That's cool.
And also.
How'd you get that at? Are you Jack?
I hate you.
Is that your name, bro? You founded Twitter?
At
Jevy.
Jevy.
Throw me $1 billion real quick.
At Jevy _ fuck you, Liam. Jevy _99. Or Polo Boy JT, one of those. Add me on LinkedIn.
Wait, you're.
Oh my god.
You're Polo Boy JT?
Add me on LinkedIn. Add me on TikTok too if you can. And add me on.
Are you a content creator?
And then add me on PSN at pestilence _JT. Okay.
That's pretty cool. I wish I wasn't broke and had Xbox like Live. I could tell you mine. If I ever get back on Xbox Live, you can find me at The Lion King 456. It's funny because my name's Timon, 7th grade. You get it. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TIIMON_. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I had to think. You can find me on LinkedIn at Timon Lyander.
You can find me on Twitter at _Liam Baker. You can add me on Steam at Obi-Wan _Shinobi. But that's about it.
Nerd.
All right, everybody.
Wait, Liam, drop your 4chan, bro.
Yeah, please, bro.
You.
Yeah. Let's talk about
so
the.
rude. I was just about to hit stop, but I haven't.
No, let's talk about the chats. What was that one thing you were saying about, like...
Bye.